Good morning, students. In the last class, chemistry, we have studied a physical change. Just we will see that and move on to chemical change. What we said, a physical change is a one if there is a change in the state, size, shape. Such changes we called them as physical change. Okay, like we have taken an example of blowing air into a balloon and piercing a pin. What happened to the shape of the balloon? It has changed. Okay, like size or shape. Next state, ice cube we have taken. It's a solid state. Supplying some amount of heat, the solid substance has been converted into a liquid substance. Okay, if I supply some more heat to the liquid, it will be converted into a vapor, that is a gaseous state. Such changes in a state, size and shape, we call them as a physical change. Today we will learn about what do we mean by a chemical change. Okay, chemical change. For this, let us take certain examples. Rust. Second one, formation of kernel. Okay, and rotten eggs. See here, children, iron nail. Let us take our familiar example, iron nail. This iron nail, we will keep it outside for 1 week. Okay? After 1 week, what you will see? There will be a brownish powder will be formed on the iron nail. Yes or no? That brownish powder we call it as a rust. Now here iron, that is Fe. It is reacting with whatever oxygen is present in the air or atmosphere, air and water. It is giving FeO. Your rust formula is FeO, that is ferric oxide. Now, chemical change. Here, first what we have taken, an iron nail. Whatever air and water are present in the atmosphere, this iron, it easily reacted and formed a brownish powder. We call it as a rust. Rust is, can I say, the brownish powder is nothing but a new substance is formed here. Yes or no? Yes. In case of a chemical change, always a new substances will be formed. Like your physical change, you cannot get. Even though there is a change in the state, like ice cube, it is melted and forming water. If you cool the water again, you are getting again the ice cube. Okay? But in the case of a chemical change, whatever original substance is there, you will not get in the reverse order. Okay? See, after forming the rust, again you won't get your iron nail. So new substances will be formed in case of a chemical change. Okay? Let us take your ice cube. When it is melted, it is forming water. Again, if I cool the water, I am getting the ice cube. Hence, we said it's a reversible process. But here, your chemical change is always irreversible. You won't get in the reverse direction. Okay? But here, law of conservation of mass is valid. Your initial substance is converted into a new substance called as a rust. Okay? Next, let us see our second example, formation of curd. How your mom may be preparing a curd? First, she will warm the milk. Then what does she do? She will add a little bit of buttermilk and keep it aside for 2 to 3 hours. Then you will get a curd. See, again by heating or doing something, can we get back our milk again? We won't get. Such changes are called as a chemical changes. They are a permanent changes. Permanently. You cannot bring back the milk again. From curd you can't get the milk. Okay? Such changes are called as a chemical changes. Rotten eggs. Sometimes eggs get spoiled. Okay? Here also the original egg you won't be getting. Such change is called as a chemical change. The main thing in a chemical change is new substances will be formed, and these changes are permanent changes, and these are irreversible. You can't do it in the reverse order, like ice cube to water, water to ice cube. Okay? Now, these chemical changes are also called as a chemical reactions. Here, chemical reactions. See, in a chemical reaction, these are divided into two types. Exothermic reactions and endothermic reactions. Okay? Exothermic means a reaction in which heat is liberated, or we call it as heat is evolved, coming out. Such reactions are called exothermic reactions. A reactions in which heat is absorbed. Heat will not come out. Such reactions are called endothermic reactions. Okay, children? Chemical reactions are divided into two types. Exothermic and endothermic. In an exothermic reactions, some reactions like sodium pellets, if you take some sodium pellets in a conical flask, add some water to it. Then after some time, if you touch the bottom of the flask, you will feel it is very hot. That means heat is coming out. Whenever heat is coming out, we call them as an exothermic reactions. Sometimes those reactions, heat will not be coming out. That means the reactants itself, even though they are forming a new product, they will absorb the heat. That such type of reactions are endothermic reactions. Now here, after reading about the different two types of chemical reactions, see, let us take H2 plus O2 gives H2O. See here children, there is an arrow. We are adding hydrogen and oxygen. What we are adding? Water molecule. Left side. Is this the left side of the arrow? To the right side. In any chemical reaction, the left side of the arrow, we call these things as reactants. What do we call them? These are called as reactants. To the right side of the chemical reaction, we call them as products. Okay? Reactants and products. Now, in a chemical change, you may be seeing the familiar example, digestion of food or cooking food. These are the different examples. If you are eating rice, does the rice remains like that only after digestion? No. Such process, different products will be formed in a chemical change. Okay? This is regarding your second chapter, physical and chemical change. One more topic is there, sublimation with an activity. I will tell you in the next class. Okay children, today your homework is, you have keywords in page number 25. 4 keywords are there. You practice them thrice in your homework book. Okay children, thank you.